Once you have installed, you have to do one step, right? Of course, that irrespective of the software you are going to install, right? You have to repeat this step for every software, right? To make it is working from any folder, right? So that means now here we have installed MySQL, right? So now that where it was installed, actually it is installed in the C drive, program files. Here MySQL folder is there. Good evening everyone. Yes, sir. Okay. So MySQL server, and here bin folder is there. So that means the irrespective of software which you are going to install, so always you should work in bin folder of the corresponding installed software, right? So that means once the software, like for example, if you are working with Java, you have to install the JDK tools, right? Once the JDK tools are installed, what you have to do? You have to go to the bin folder of your JDK software. That means it will be installed in the C drive program file JDK, and in that bin folder will be there. There you have to work, right? That means all your programs must be stored in the corresponding bin folder of the software. So then only your programs will be executed. No, I don't want to save my programs in bin folder of the corresponding software. I want to save my programs wherever I want in my computer, right? So in that case, what you have to do is you have to create the path. You have to create the path for working from any directory. So for that, already we did this for Python, right? The time when we installed that Python, so that time we have copied the path. So now what we have to do for setting the path? So you have to copy the corresponding directory, that path of the corresponding directory. So my MySQL server bin folder is there here. It is in C drive, program files, MySQL server 8.0, then bin folder. So then copy this path, then go to environmental variables. How you can go there? So right click on the my computer, select the properties, right? Then select the properties. Once the properties are selected, select the advanced system settings. Once the advanced system settings are selected, right, you will be able to see this particular thing. So here environmental variables is there, right? Environmental variables, and here system variables are there. Data user variables, here don't need to worry about this. This belongs to user only. From user to user it will change. Okay, we should not save here. So we have to save in the system variables. One variable name is there, path. So you have to select that, click on new, click on edit. Okay, select this, click on edit, and you will be, it will open some environmental, edit environmental variable. So there new option is there, click on new and copy your, paste your path here, right? Paste your path. Okay, so again I need to repeat it. Okay, fine. Okay. So once the software is installed, any software, not only MySQL, I'm talking any software. So once the software is installed, the rule is we have to save all our programs in bin folder of the corresponding software. So that bin folder is the working directory for that particular software. So that means if you want to write any programs for that particular programming language, right, you have to write your all programs in the bin folder, right? But this is not recommended. Why? Because So when you are working in the bin folder, already in the bin folder, lot of default system files are there. Accidentally, if you remove any system file, your software won't work, right? That means your programming language may give some problems, right? That is the first thing. Second thing is, accidentally some OS is corrupted, right? So now I have worked a lot of programs, I have developed a lot of programs, and I have saved in the bin folder, right? But accidentally your operating system is stops working, right? So in that case, you have to do the format. You don't have the other option, right? In that case, all your programs will go off, right? To avoid this, what we have to do is, so we should not work in bin folder, right? That means we supposed to work in bin folder, right? But I will save my all programs somewhere, but execute my programs, I link from there I will link it to the bin folder. How we can do that means, so we have to copy the bin folder path of the corresponding software into the path variable. Where you will find the path variable first. So browse your bin folder. So for MySQL, bin folder is there in C, programs, MySQL Server 8.0, bin. So then copy this entire path. Okay. Then go to my computer. Right click on the my computer. Properties. Select properties. Select advanced system settings. So there select environmental variables. Okay. Then in the system variables, you will have the path option, right? So path variable is there. So select the path variable. You will get this particular window. Here you click on new and add, and don't delete any previous paths, any previous values. Okay. So click on this and right. So here I added multiple times. That's the reason I'm deleting, but you please don't delete. Okay. So now add here, then click on OK, then OK. Fine. Now that means for working with MySQL, you no need to come to bin folder every time. You can work from anywhere, from any folder, any drive in your computer. If you set path, that means you can work with the corresponding programming language from anywhere from your computer, in any drive, any folder. Okay. So now, right. So already Manish is asking some already one more path. Of course, I added multiple paths, so I removed one path. Okay, no need to worry about that. So now here, the concept is, I'm not talking about only MySQL or Python, right? So in Java, the people who are going to work with Java, for them this path setting is very big issue. Like a lot of people who are facing with the issue with path setting, right? So simple thing is, if you don't set path also, you can work with the corresponding software, but the condition is you have to go to the bin folder and work there, right? If you set the path, you don't need to go to the bin folder. You can work from any drive and any folder in your computer. Only that is the difference. It is not like I don't know how to set the path, I cannot work with Java, right? Yes, you can work without setting the path also. You can work with Java. Only thing is you have to go to the bin folder. So Mamta madam is asking, after environmental variable, so you will get one window, madam. There you will have system variables down, right? Second one, system variables. There one variable name is there called path, PATH. That you have to select it. And click on new. And remember here, now depending upon the operating system you are using, you will get different window for the path variable. So I'll show you again here. So in the environmental variables, right? So this path variable is there. Sorry, in the system variable, path variable is there. You have to select on edit. Okay, edit. If you click on edit, you will get this window if it is Windows 10 operating system. If you are using Windows 10 64-bit operating system. right? If you are using Windows 7, you won't get this. You will get only one text box. There already some paths are there. What you have to do? Should not delete any path. You have to go to the last, add semicolon, then copy your path, then give OK. Okay, that is the thing you have to do. And still, if you face any problem after the class, you can just message me your screenshot. I'll tell you how to solve that problem. Okay, right? So now we have set the path. That means now I can work with MySQL from any folder or any drive in my computer, right? Okay, right. Now what I will do is I'll go to command prompt. I'll go to command prompt. Okay, just a minute. I'll increase the font size. Okay, now I'll go to command prompt. So here, if you type MySQL, it is giving error. Okay, so one error is access denied for user using password now. That means we have to log into the MySQL from with username and password. Okay, so what is the username? Already we have created while installing one user is created called root. Username is root and password is we have given some password there. I told to remember that password, so we have given some password. Now to log in that into MySQL, type MySQL -u, type your root username, user is root and p. Okay, then press enter. Okay, and here you enter your password. Your password what you have given at the time of installation. Okay, so I have given my password. Okay, I have entered my password. Now you can see here. You can see here MySQL. Okay. Okay, MySQL, right? So now we are into the MySQL, right? So now, so this way we can log in into the MySQL from your command prompt. Okay, before this, here I will show you already MySQL server is installed in our computer and it has started. It has started. It has started as a Windows service in our computer. Okay. So to see that, what you have to do is you have to go to where we can see the process, Windows process. You have to go to the task manager. Just a minute, one minute, please. Yeah, sorry for the delay. So actually, I got some work. Okay. So now we are into the MySQL now, right? So now at the time of installation, we have enabled the option that start MySQL server as a Windows service, right? So Windows service. That means the moment when your system is started, rebooted, automatically that MySQL server will be started. MySQL server will be started. To see that, go to task manager, and here you can see here. You can see here. Hope everyone is able to see this task manager, right? So here in the task manager, we will have MySQL D, right? Two process are there. So you expand one of the process. You can see here MySQL 7337. So that means your server is started and it is running. Your server is started and it is running. Now with this server, we have connected from our command prompt. So already your server is running. Okay, already your server is running, and we have connected it from command prompt by using the corresponding username, root, and the password. Okay. Now, so I'll tell you the simple command, right? Just to see the version of MySQL, you have to give select version semicolon, right? So this is the query we need to execute to know the version, to get the version of MySQL. Okay, so its version is 8.0.19. Okay, 8.0.19. Now everyone able to hear? Everyone is following, right? Now here, okay, we have seen the version. To now when you install the MySQL, there are some default databases in your MySQL server, right? You will get some default databases. To see the default databases, show databases, right? Semicolon. Remember, every time every query should end with semicolon. Okay, show databases. So it will show the database. These are 6 databases are there. These are 6 databases which are default databases in MySQL. Okay, right? So of course we will work with existing databases, or we can create our own database and we can work. So that we will do that. Okay. Now this is the way to connect with your MySQL and you can work, right? So this is way 1. That means option 1 to connect with your MySQL. Okay. Option 1 is you can connect your MySQL server from your command prompt, right? From your command prompt by typing the username and password, right? Then you can work with your MySQL. Okay. So this is option 1. And option 2 is GUI, right? Graphical user interface, right? That means if somebody will feel working from command prompt on this black screen is very difficult. Okay. If you feel so, we have another option. So the moment when you install MySQL server in your computer, we have installed one more tool also. What is that tool? MySQL Workbench, right? MySQL Workbench also we have installed, right? At the time of installation, we have selected Workbench, right? So you just go to programs, and open your MySQL Workbench. You just type MySQL Workbench. Okay, that means your program menu, you just type MySQL Workbench. It will show your MySQL Workbench. Just click on that. It will open your MySQL Workbench. Okay, now selected that MySQL Workbench. is getting open. So MySQL workbench. Right, now everyone able to see this MySQL workbench. Welcome to MySQL workbench. Okay, welcome to MySQL workbench. Right, now when you're opening first time, what you will get is, you will get only the root user, local instance of MySQL 7337, right? So this is the server name, because at the time of installation, I have given the MySQL server name as MySQL 7337. Of course, you can give any name. You can give your own name also, no problem, right? So whatever the name you have given at the time of installation, with that name only your server will start running, right? So now here I have given MySQL 7337. So this is my local instance. Where it is running? In my same computer it is running. Okay. So now if you see here, if you see the settings of this, right? See here, where it is running? It is running on 127.0.0.1, right? 0.0.1. That means this is the IP address for local host, right? So which port? 3306. At the time of installation, we got port number 3306, right? This is the port. Okay, and the username is root. So connection name, right? You can give, if you want to name it as some connection, some name. If you want name, you can give, right? So now this is the default user. Okay, this is the default user. Root is your default user. Okay, now to start working with MySQL server, right? What you have to do is you have to click on this particular instance. Okay, it will ask for password. Okay, that means you have to enter your root password, which is given at the time of installation. Your installation. Okay. So now if you give this, right? So it will open. It will open this particular window, and here we have the schemas. So here we have schemas. So what is schema? So schema is nothing but a database, right? So in MySQL, every schema is nothing but a database, right? So before, let me go back to the PPT. Just a minute. So every schema is nothing but see. Of course, this will see MySQL structure. So we will have the databases, right? So under the database, we will have the tables. You can create multiple tables. In a MySQL server, you can create multiple databases. Every database will have the number of tables, one or more tables. Every table will have one or more records. So in every record, we may have the multiple fields. Multiple fields means name, user name, first name, second name. That means first name, middle name, last name, email ID, phone number, address, right? So all those things, all those fields will be there, right? That depends upon. Okay, so generally in another yes, actually why I'm not telling schema means it is a structure of database, because in Oracle and MS SQL, the database may contain multiple schemas, right? So that means combination of schemas is nothing but one database. But in MySQL, every database will have one schema, right? So we can say here schema is nothing but database. That means one fixed for a particular database, there will be only one schema. Not like in Oracle and MS SQL, we may not have multiple schemas. Okay, so here in MySQL, when you are working in MySQL, always you have to remember that database is equals to schema. Okay, so now here in every database you can create the number of tables. One is student table, employee table. For example, let us take NSTA database. NSTA database, students table. Okay, or we can create like CATS, CTS, diploma. Again in the CATS database, right? CATS will have the CATS table will have the information about all the CATS trades. In the CTS table, we'll have the information about all the CTS trades. In the diploma, we'll have the information about all the diploma trades. Right? Again, for CATS electronic mechanic, one table again one more table will create it. Okay. Then for CATS electrician, one more table will create it. For CATS fitter, one more table will create. Like that, we can create number of tables in a database. Right? So then the database name is training section of NSTA. So in that, first we will list out the trades. We'll list out the trades under different categories: CATS, CTS, and diploma. Again, when it comes to CATS electrician, what are all, how many students are there? What is their information? That is first name, last name, email ID, phone number, right? What their entry qualification. Like that, we will maintain the number of tables. Okay, so that is your fields. So this is the structure. Always here the simple thing is you have to remember the database. Database is a combination of your tables. Combination of your tables. That means collection of your tables. Table is a collection of records. Collection of records. Record is a collection of fields. Okay. Of course, we will understand once we started working on that. Okay, so this is the structure. This is the structure. Yes, we can say it as schema. Okay, so now let us go back to workbench. Okay, so highest in the hierarchy, the highest in the top, we will have the database, right? Under the database, we will have the tables. Under the tables, we will have the records. So now I want to see what are all the databases available here, available in the MySQL server presently, because I have not created single database also till now, right? So just now we have logged into the server, and in the server we will have some default databases, right? To see that, you have to already we have executed the command there now, show databases. Okay, show databases and semicolon, right? And select this and click on this. If you select and click on this, the selected query will be run. Selected query will be run. No, it is not a case sensitive. You can type, you can use small letters, capital letters, or you can have mix also. Okay. See here, it is executed. Now this is the output window. If you get like now we are executing one query in a right query. So here when you are executing query, the result of that query, whether it is executed or any problem with that execution, you will get here. You can note down. I mean, you can see here. So since it is turned into green, means it is executed, and it is showing the number of databases. Here, these are the databases available in MySQL server at present. Okay, so information underscore schemas, MySQL performance underscore schemas, Shakila, sys world. Okay, so now these are the databases. Of course, in that some system reserved databases are there that we should not touch, and better always it is these are the sample, some of the sample data they have given, because to have a feel of how the data can be arranged, how the data is stored in the MySQL for the beginners, right? Now let us see this world database. What is there in that world database? Okay, so what is there in that world database, right? To select that world database, you have to use world, use world. Okay, then you select it and execute it. Yes, it is executed successfully, right? So now we are in world database. You can see here, left side you can see, now we have selected world database. We are in world database because it is turned into bold. Okay, it is turned into bold, right? Okay, so if you want to have the PPT, just send the message. I'll send it to you, no problem. Right, now I want to see the tables. Show tables. Okay, show tables in this particular world database, right? In this particular world database. Now you execute this particular query, it is executed. So in that, how many tables are there? 3 tables are there. One is city, another one is country, another one is country language. Okay, country language. Now here, first we have selected the world database. In that world, we have seen the tables. Now I want to see what are all the things available, how many records available in city database. Okay, city table, right? So now for that, select start from city. Of course, no need to worry about these queries. I will give you these queries. Okay, in PPT also I will mention these queries. No need to worry. I'll share the PPT if you want, right? And a notepad also I will mention this. I'll show you, right? So now at this time, your concentration should be how many ways we can work with MySQL server. One is from command prompt, right? So if you are comfortable with command prompt, you can work. If it is not comfortable, then you can use a MySQL workbench. This is completely GUI. There is no black screen and no need to type the commands, right? And everything can be visible here, right? Colorful screen, right? Now you execute this. Yes, it is executed. Now see here, these are all the records available in the table, right? So first is database is world. We were discussing about in the PPT now. In the PPT we were discussing that database. So now we have selected world. So in the world database we have the city languages, city something, right? So 3 tables are there. So in the 3 tables we have selected one city table. In the city table there are number of records, right? So the number of records are, these are number of records. So Kabul, Afghanistan, right? District, population, right? Like that, number of cities are there. Number of cities are there. Here in this city table, we had okay, these things I will discuss afterwards, right? So these things we will discuss afterwards, that schema, all those things. Okay, so number of records are there. Okay, so these many records are there. So 1000 city name details are there all over the world, right? So like that, similarly we will have, see here, not only here, you can able to see left side also. Here tables, if you click on, if you expand the tables, you will get 3 tables: city, country and language. So if you see the country, so country, okay, country. So what are the, now all these here, now this is in the city table. In the city table we will have ID is one field, name is one field, country code is one field, district is one field, population is one field. So 5 fields are there. Okay, 5 fields are there. And in the ID field, the value should be number only. The name field, the value should be character. and the country field some 3-letter character. Okay, so this is character of, so up to 20 letters or 30 letters you can keep, and here id it is a pure integer number only, right? Country code it is a character but 3 digits, right? And district it can be characters for so and so digits, right? 20, let us say some 20 digits, 20 characters. So population, so it is integer. Okay, that means why I'm telling this now, so at the time of creation of your own table, you have to select what are all the field names and what should that field should take, what data that corresponding field should accept. Okay, now if you want to see, you can give DESC table name city. Okay, description of the table, description of the table, you can see here the description of the table. City table contains one is id, that is integer. Okay, then name character of 35 characters, it is allowing 35 characters. Name can be, city name can be up to 35 characters. Country it is a 3-letter character, and district it is also character, it is accepting 20 characters. Population it is integer, right? Null value, null means no, not null, that means the field is should not be kept null, it should not be kept blank, it should, we should give the value, right? And this, that means all the fields are compulsory, right? And here these are keys, of course. We no need to worry about these keys, primary key, foreign key, all the different keys are there, that is to create the connections, relations between the different tables, right? So in your application you may be maintaining number of tables. To keep the relationship between one table to another table, we will create some keys. Okay, so that you will learn very well in the database concepts. Okay, okay, I'll send that ppt in Python WhatsApp group only, no need to worry. Right, now here, so this is about this thing, right? That means this is the second option. You can work from your MySQL workbench. Okay, so first thing is you can work from your command prompt. Second thing is you can work from MySQL workbench. This MySQL workbench is the GUI given by the MySQL, right? So it can be installed along with the MySQL server. And the third option, another option is, of course, another multiple options are there. In multiple ways you can connect. Some third-party GUI is also there. Even Oracle SQL Developer is there. By using Oracle SQL Developer also, you can connect your MySQL server. Okay, right? So now, as of now, of course, if you want, I'll show you that Oracle SQL Developer also. But the thing is, we are not going to work with the Oracle SQL Developer. We are going to work with MySQL workbench only, or command prompt, right? So I hope it is enough. Either you can use the command prompt or GUI. If you want GUI, you can use the inbuilt GUI interface, MySQL workbench. Okay, any doubts still here? Any doubts still here? Okay, so now I have written here. So the commands, MySQL commands, right? Of course, I have not changed the heading in the PPT because I copied all the slides, but I forgot to change the heading, right? To check the version of MySQL, you can write the query, select version, close the bracket, open and close the bracket, then semicolon, right? So now here, to see the database present in the server, show databases, semicolon. And to select the database, use database name. Okay, and they list out the tables in the selected database, show tables. Okay, all this we did now, right? Okay, fine. Select to display all the records, select chart from, give the table name. To see the table structure, you can give DESC table name, right? So now we have, till now we have installed how many? 6 queries, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Of course, this select version we have executed in the command prompt. Okay, and if you want, you can execute here also. Obviously, you will get the same answer, because whether you are working from the command prompt or you are working from the GUI, those things are connected with the SQL server only. That means your query is going to execute in the SQL server only. So you will get same result, right? So it is 8.0.19. Okay, right. Now here our interest is not to discuss about MySQL, right? Here our interest is we are doing Python programming, right? From Python programming, how we can work with the MySQL. Okay, that means how you can save your data and how you can read your data, how you can delete your data, how you can update your data. So all those things we will see, right? To do these things from your Python program, you should know first how to work with MySQL. In MySQL, how you can create the database, how you can create the table, how you can create the records, how to change the records, how to delete the records. All those things you have to see, right? So in MySQL, if you want to learn MySQL, of course, now for Python sessions, I'm covering maximum queries for insertion, deletion, updation, creation, everything. That create database, create table, create record, insert record, then edit record, update record, delete table, delete database. All these things I will cover here, right? And apart from this, in MySQL, a lot of other things also there to learn, right? So that is MySQL program. Programming is there in MySQL also. In MySQL also the programming part is there. That is stored procedures, triggers, indexes, views. All these are MySQL programming concepts. Okay, right? Now, if you want, you can learn those things also. But now, if you are going to work exclusively on MySQL, that means if you take software companies, their separate team is there to work on MySQL. That means to work on MySQL only. They will not work on any other programming language. They will work on MySQL only. Their duty is to create the programming modules to run different conditions, different scenarios in MySQL. Okay, so that is different, of course, and that is optional also. If you want to, you can do the programming in MySQL. Otherwise, I can do in my Python only. Then I can update all the programming part. I will cover in Python only, and the database MySQL I will use only for storing the information. Right here, the major thing is storage. That means creating the database, tables, records, updating, deletion, everything, right? That entire part I will cover. SQL queries part I will cover, and the programming part I'm not going to cover. Okay, programming part I'm not going to cover, because why I'm not going to cover means from Python point of view, whether you are executing the query or program, stored procedure, or any other program of MySQL, both are same, right? So from Python point of view, it is same. It is not like that you are executing your stored procedure or you are executing the query, right? So that's the reason I'm covering only this particular part. And if you want that programming part, we will see programming part of MySQL. We will see that afterwards. Like if we have the time, and if we can finish our Python concepts now. So after finishing the Python concepts, if time is there, we will see, and we will exclusively discuss about the programming part of MySQL. Okay, and remember that without the programming part of MySQL also, you don't need to worry about that. You can work with the MySQL. Of course, the programming part, what is that? Why we have to write the programs in MySQL? Right? Now, for example, now I'm having some records to classroom. Right? I'm having classroom. Every student will have the 6 subjects, and I have to calculate the grade. Right? Depending upon the marks they have scored. Right? Now, what I will do? I'll enter the marks. From that marks, I will write one program in MySQL so that the MySQL program will execute and it will calculate the grade of each and every candidate depending upon the number of marks scored by the student. Okay. MySQL. So the program will be executed in the MySQL that will assign the grade depending upon the number marks scored by the candidate. Okay, so instead of writing that program in MySQL, I can very well write in Python also. Okay, so in Python also I can get all the marks, I can calculate and I can calculate the grade and I can update the grade in MySQL database. Both are same, But the thing is in very complex applications, right? In very complex applications, what happens now? The server is running number of programs, number of tasks it is running, right? If that is running number of tasks, that Python server will be separate and database server will be separate. Assume Python server is one system and a database server is in another system. So in that case, what happens? If everything Python is doing, what this MySQL server will do? Only it will wait. Whether a Python server gives the record, that will be stored, right? If it wants the record, it will give the record. That only it will do, right? But the Python server will take all the requests from the different users. It is processing number of things. It is processing the grade. It is calculating grade, and it is taking the marks also. It is taking the input from the user. It is taking from the inputs from web page. It is taking from inputs from Windows page. So all these things it is doing, right? That means one server is heavily working. One server is working very less, right? So to balance, of course, this MySQL server can't do whatever the task done by the Python server, because the Python server is having lot of concepts there, so it will run a lot of modules are there that it will run, right? At least what this MySQL server can able to do, this simple calculation it can do now. So that's the reason if we write the programs in MySQL server for simple operations, so MySQL server also will help Python server, actual server, little bit. That just to avoid the load on the main server, we will write the programs. Whatever the database processings are there, the database processings we will write in the form of stored procedures and keep in the MySQL server. Right? Stored procedures, triggers, indexes. You can see here. Now, for every table you will find columns. Every table will have the columns, right? Every table will have the columns. That is ID, what we have seen, right? So see here. So every table will have the columns, right? And indexes. Every table will have the indexes. That means you can create the index, that is keys, primary keys, foreign key, those things, right? Foreign keys and triggers. Triggers means, so that means if you want to run, like for example, when you are reading the temperature, when the temperature is less than some minimum value, 20 degrees, so you have to give some alert. So in that case, the triggers means these are also triggers, also a programs, but those programs are automatically executed when a predefined condition is met. When the predefined condition is met, those programs are automatically executed. Those type of programs are called as triggers. Okay, so like that, stored procedure, triggers, views, number of things are there here in MySQL programming part. So if you want MySQL programming part, we will cover separately, right? We will cover separately. But from Python point of view, whether you are executing the simple query or a stored procedure or any other program in the MySQL, that doesn't make a difference from Python point of view, right? Okay. Now I hope it is clear to everyone how to work with MySQL, right? How to work with MySQL. These databases, these things, all those things we will work in coming classes. Okay, so no need to worry about that. So if time is there, once this Python programming is over, we will see that. Because why I don't want to cover parallelly with Python, na? So again, if we start a separate programming here, like in MySQL programming, if we start, so here also we have to discuss about the data types, that conditions, loops, all these things we have to discuss, right? If I discuss, then people will confuse that the loop which I have discussed, for loop I have discussed in Python. So if I am discussing a different loop here, so what is this? Whether we have to use this loop or this loop? We'll write this loop in Python and that loop in MySQL, right? To avoid all those confusion, I'm not discussing the programming part of MySQL here, right? So after Python, we will see. So Python, how many more days? That means I also don't know, because now in this MySQL part we have to cover after MySQL, and MongoDB has also asked, na madam? Trupti madam has asked MongoDB also, because it is there in diploma syllabus. So if you cover MongoDB, again it will take some more, like MySQL, I think it may take 5 to 6 classes. MongoDB may take 5 to 6 classes. So after that, we have to work on files, and we have to work on some different NumPy arrays, all those things. And if possible, we'll see some little bit data analytics. Okay. Sir, can you take cursor trigger stored procedure if time is there? Yes, madam. We will see. We will see, madam. Okay. So now this is about MySQL introduction, how to work with MySQL, right? Now here my concern from this session, my expectation is only to understand how to work with the MySQL, how to connect with the server, and how to work with the MySQL. That's all. Okay. And tomorrow we will see. Now we have worked from command prompt and from your MySQL workbench now. That means directly we are working on the MySQL server, right? We are opening the MySQL server either from command prompt or GUI. We are working with MySQL server. And tomorrow we will see that Python, how to work with, how to connect from Python to MySQL server, right? And if you can able to connect from Python to MySQL server, whatever you are doing in Python programming, that automatically gets updated in the MySQL server. Okay, so for your Python program, whatever the inputs you are feeding dynamically, all those inputs, if you want, you can store in MySQL, right? In MySQL, right? So now, for example, if it is IoT kind of applications, so we will connect to the sensors to the Raspberry Pi. So there in Raspberry Pi, we will write the program, Python program. So Raspberry Pi, that program will get all the sensors data. That sensors data will be updated to the database. That is your MySQL. That becomes an IoT, right? But in IoT case, what is the thing? Your database will not be in your local system. It will be on the internet. That means your database may be in one system. That system can be accessed from anywhere in the world through the internet, right? If a system can be accessed from anywhere in the world with the help of internet, that is called a cloud system. Okay. Thank you, and tomorrow we'll meet at 4 to 5 again, right? And thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.